Hello. Let me set up my audio. Finish setting that up here. Okay. Give me more me. This is enough. No? Maybe. That should be more sufficient. No? Come on. Okay. Threshold down that far. How's this? I can still allow a little bit of noise through. Let's see. But let's start compression there. Let's limit it like that. Let's make it this. Yeah. Let's make it this. So that it, like, limits my voice like to hell and back. And then let's drop the ceiling 1 decibel. Cool. Alright. Good afternoon. It is Sunday. And I am Moonhead right now. Hello. I have a horn. Fuck, is that how that's supposed to go? No, it's the other way, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Got this a couple years ago from a Kickstarter. I still have another 2 minutes. So, this stream, I'm gonna be doing some interesting stuff. I'm going to try to translate the Crow's-Eyed verse from I Am into 2 of my conlangs. And then I also wanted to play around with this thing that Jared let me borrow. He was messing around just with a pack of strings. He had an idea about, like, a different way to tune a guitar. And it's sort of like a ukulele tuning. I want to start out with this before I get too into stuff, because this is interesting. So welcome, Mur Rowley. Welcome, Leigh Williams. Welcome, Cosmo Comic. Welcome, Haley. Ah, it's being finicky. There I am. Ah! Jeez-o. Wait, let me get some lights on. So all the lights aren't behind me. Come on. Yeah. Yes. Okay. How about this too? What do you mean you can't connect a great room? I know you can. Fuck it. Can I turn these on still? Can I at least have them on the... I just want light. Give me light. More light than that. Seeing 2 blank screens. No signal. Come on. Apple TV. Oh, there we go. Nice. Alright. We're in it. Yeah, Haley has to cat sit for, our friends Casey and Elliot just got a cat in their new apartment. Oh, right, you can't. That's okay. Damn. I like this lighting. It's not all just, like, blown out. How's it doing that? It's... This is the 6th string. What the fuck am I doing? Did I grab the wrong guitar? Where's that other guitar? Found it. There's so many fucking guitars here. This is the one I was looking for. It's got some Sharpie squiggle on it, so it was just a burner guitar that Jared decided to give this interesting tuning to. Let's see. Okay. Or how do I situate myself? How do I situate the frame? Yeah. So this is a 4-string tuning, E, G, B, D. And it's interesting because this is, I believe that's a 5th? Yeah, E, B, and then the lighting in the studio looks so good. Yeah, so here's what I did. I turned off the ceiling lights. I turned on that warm light. I turned on both of the Apple TVs. And then I turned on my laptop screen. So I have blue coming from this side. I have a weird mix of colors coming from the top, and I have orange coming from that side. So I wanna try to do this more often. No. Show me just... I know I can connect to this. Okay, it's doing it. I'm gonna do it. Let's see. What can I put up there? Another Wiktionary page. Sure. Cool. Nice. Wait, what if I... This is gonna be funny. Can I just zoom into this? is not quite doing what I hope it would. That's okay, though. Wait. That's good enough. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm just fucking with the lighting. Yeah, I gotta keep this set up. So, this is interesting because this is tuned in such a way where you get a minor 7th chord if you play it straight. And then the major shape is just... So you get the... Yeah. So you get those harmonics and it's really low. So you can do that anywhere. Yeah, so it's actually, there's 2 screens that are up there, and they're both tied to the same thing. So like there's an HDMI splitter coming from an Apple TV going into that, and then that goes into both monitors. So what I used to do is just run the chat on it, but now I run the chat next to my OBS window. So I'm looking at the same place like for stream. And then, let's see. I can get rid of that. Hang on, let me get rid of the, this here. Yeah. That's all I need. Wait. Isn't that already a setting? No. Damn it. There's some really cool stuff you can do with this tuning. Damn, I keep messing that up. Okay, that's the first part. okay. I get it. Oh my god, that chord is right there. Okay, so this feels like playing a 2x2. I'm not saying much because I'm just trying to find stuff in here to like demonstrate, but there's an interesting thing that Jared showed me about this tuning, this 4-string tuning. No. Okay, yeah. Every note of the chromatic scale is available within 3 frets. And playing an octave shape up 4 gives you that traditional octave. If you play a power chord between... This is a 4th. And so if you do the bottom string, and then the same fret 2 strings up, and then 2 frets up, you get a power chord. So like those end up being really good reference points for where the other notes are. So you really just have a feel for like, okay, so then let me take my fucking hat off. God damn it. So you really have a good reference point for where like if I'm playing, then okay, my major third is gonna be here. And then my minor third is gonna be just barring that. And so you can also do this 4th supporting. There we go. So, and then, let's see, where would the diminished be? Yeah. But you, okay, yeah, so you can do this 4th supported shape. It's still bad. Goddamn. Yeah, so if you do a traditional guitar power chord shape, you get a major chord, and if you carry it up like a normal major chord shape, you get a full major chord, but with the bottom as a fourth supported. So your major shape is actually 3 frets on the top 3 strings, and on the bottom 3 strings, that is a minor shape. So that's a really interesting and really intuitive thing. If you're on the brighter side of the strings, it makes sense that staying in the same place will give you a major chord. Sorry, I have to bend these a little bit because these strings are new and a little, like, you know, thick for what they're you know, being used for here. Yeah. So it's very hard to make chords sound totally in tune, but there, I got it. I sort of like that though, because with the strings this loose, you get a lot more ability to harmonically like vary your chords, and you just have to hunt for, you know, where the right shit is. But and then. And there's another interesting thing where on each fret, so this octave, 1 fret up is on the 9th fret, this octave is on the 8th fret, and this octave is on the 9th fret again. So you have to skip up depending on where you are to get octaves, which is interesting, because that is sort of like, you know, the bottom strings of a guitar feel really, really consistent, and that's why a lot of like heavier music relies on them, because they don't have to, you know, work too hard to change the shapes. Like, most of the effort is put into, you know, playing instead of articulating. But with this, you know, this sort of, there's only 4 strings, and you can still play all those, you know, power chords and stuff, but it's a little more cumbersome. It's a little more complex to play those, and so you're sort of drawn toward fourths and you know, building chords off of shapes, you know, and I like that. I like that about this tuning. And I was saying, because he was gonna design a bullshit instrument, and he just wanted to give it some strings that could be, you know, easy enough to like learn something, but, you know, complex enough that he can, you know, vary up chords when he busks. He wants to dress as a wizard with his fucking ale horn wrapped around his leg, the one he was had on during rehearsal, I believe, and you know, have a wizard hat and just play songs on a thing like this. What I want to do is, if he can make something like that, there's ideas I've had and designs I've had forever about Aknepen lutes, and this is like the perfect candidate of tuning. The one thing I would probably change is double this an octave down, 1 string below. So have just like a boom. You can have bass. Jared also suggested a fourth down from this. That would be really interesting. That would be very interesting, and that would be certainly suiting of an Akhenaten loot if their lowest string was a fucking fourth down from their root string. Who would be interested in a custom etc. reverse instrument made from you know, handcrafted materials? Who would be interested in something like that with like a, you know, unique tuning and a booklet in you know, 3 different languages, 2 of them conlangs. Does that interest anybody? So, yeah, I want to sort of figure out a design for a prototype. Figure out like a characteristic body shape that also like sounds interesting. And, you know, Jared wants to get into building guitars. I was thinking we could, you know, collaborate on that. Possibly, you know, after we have a prototype, put up some Kickstarter money and have them produced, you know, have like 100 of them or so produced. Another interesting scale shape is it's an S. I love this. Like it's so much easier to filter the shape through what you're doing. This is so good. No. No. Okay, this is really interesting. So the major shape has an interesting, like you get the whole step. You understand it's a half step because you're crossing into the next of the 3, right? I'm sorry, that's the minor scale. So it starts with the whole step, and then you get another whole step, right? So there's this whole, or whole, half. So it repeats. It's got like a 1 3 2 3 1 3 2 3. You can. Everything is within these 3 notes in 1 octave. That's so fucking interesting. And you sort of know, like, where in the scale, like, the half steps and whole steps are. I really like this because it could be, it's similar to, like, ukulele tuning, but in this form factor, it's so much more intuitive. What I would do specifically is I would change these dots and the inlays. This would be a far off thing. This would be like after a while, but I would have 2 dots here. And then on the 7th, I would have like 3 dots. So because of octave harmonic, 5th harmonic, or, you know, 3rd harmonic. Leave this one as a 1. And then on 9, have like a star, or like a, you know, 5 dots. Because I believe that's where you can hit a... Isn't that 5th harmonic? Yeah. So that way it would intrinsically tell you how to get to the first 5 harmonics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6, right? 6 is on 3. 7. It's there. Damn it. Alright, how long have I been streaming? 30 minutes. I've just been fucking with this thing for 30 minutes. return to this. But that's an idea. That's an idea I've had. After Jared showed me that thing. So, let's get into... oh, that's me. Let's get on Drive here. Actually, let's go back to me while I find this really quick. Untitled document. Yeah, here we go. Alright. Alright. So, I am trying to translate. Let's make all this bold. Wait. Do they have Everson? I want to see if they have Everson. No, you... Kazine? Kazine doesn't have all the fucking characters I need. Alright, we'll go with this. Do you have, like, normal courier? No. Sure. Like to make a Dragonology-like book for Jack? Ooh! That'd be so good. So, so there's a thing. Let's find this, Irving Finkel trilingual. There was a recent video. Cracking ancient codes, cuneiform writing. I love this guy. He has a whole talk about, like, Noah's Ark that's interesting. Not this guy, this Neil Gaiman. Stop. What do we got? Oh, you're not playing audio out of the right place.
To claim privacy. Now, the fact is this, that they used clay, which was freely available in a God-given way, because the banks of the Euphrates and Tigris rivers...
Yeah, here we go.
...any clues at all. And I maintain, will to my dying day, which is probably going to be next week, that, that cuneiform would never, ever have been deciphered if we didn't have this trilingual. And hieroglyphs without a bilingual that they do have is probably the same thing, although not quite so desperate. But when you imagine that you have a thing like that with no gaps between the words and no clue what the language might be, no relatives to go on, you could run it through all the computers in the world and all you would get is gobbledygook or possibly geekily gob, but you'd never get meaning. So this trilingual was a crucial thing. And King Darius the Persian, at this mountainous rock at a place called Behistun in eastern...
oh, look at that.
Eastern Persia, wrote a proud description about how he squashed the rebellion. There's a picture of all the people being squashed up there under Ahura Mazda, and a long narrative which was written in the Babylonian language, our cuneiform from Iraq, in Old Persian cuneiform, which was Old Persian cuneiform from the Old Persian, meaning Old Persian, and of course the Elamite language, which is even more barbaric than Sumerian.
Okay. Comments of linguistic barbarism aside from a white guy that works for a British museum, essentially the gist of that is it really helped translators of cuneiform, because cuneiform was a script that was used to write a lot of different fucking languages. If you don't know what cuneiform is, that's basically Irving Finkel's whole deal. It's these, you know, scratchings on clay tablets that came before, you know, writing. And this was used for writing a lot of languages, and it was a combination of logographs and, like, you know, basically scripts, letters, phonetic components, along with emoji, essentially. But imagine their only way to encode that data is in a trinary system of horizontal, vertical, and diagonal. And so, you know, when this was used to write a bunch of Mesopotamian languages way back in the day, it was hard to fucking tell sometimes when a character that was, you know, a word in one language was used in a different language as a logograph, etc., etc., etc. And so finding something in 3 languages, like a Rosetta Stone, which is what the Rosetta Stone is, helps you sort of decipher and differentiate based on what you know about the languages that it's written in. Also, welcome, Valor Bear.